what you have to get over in order to do what I do for a living is you have to get past any sense of self consciousness. You cannot care what you look like or what you sound like. You can only get up, hit the marks, and tell the truth, no matter what the line is, no matter what the circumstance is, no matter what the emotion is, that you must not fake, but recreate at that individual moment. So, we are all going to take part in an acting class tonight. All right, this first and probably most precious exercise is called repetitions. If you take an acting class, which in all honesty, I never did, but if you take an acting class, one of the ways you break down self consciousness, which is your own concept of what you look like and how you sound, you do this repetition. I'm going to give you a line. It's a very simple line. And what you have to do, and we're going to do it out loud so everybody can get past any of that. No one's going to be called on the carpet, but everybody does have to participate. Otherwise, I'll cripple you. You have to say these words. Is there something I can do for you? But you can't just say the words. You have to ring out every possible meaning, every possible cadence, every possible variation of that line of dialogue. Is there something I can do for you? In a repetitions class, you would have to stand in front of everybody else in the class and keep saying it again and again and again in a different form. And you only lose your chance to do that when you repeat yourself. All right? So the line is there something I can do for you? And we are all going to now say that as many different ways as we can. All right? You're just you. You're nobody else. You're just who you are. Okay. The line once again is there something I can do for you? All ready? Ready? Let's begin in 3, 2, 1. All right. Fine. So you know the words and you've already experienced it. Okay. Now I'm going to give you the circumstance. You are you. All right. You are having a magnificent day. You're going to go off and you're going to have a cup of coffee with someone that you have a great crush on, and you believe that person has a great crush on you. You're at the beginning of a marvelous relationship with someone who you think is going to perhaps give you, if not a lifetime of happiness, a few weeks or a few months. All right. You're done with your work for the day. You don't have it. You get to sleep in late tomorrow. It's going to be a lovely, lovely evening. And you are going to go and have a delightful exchange with someone you're looking forward to. But up in front of you, an elderly person carrying a package has tripped and fallen down onto their knees. All right. What do you say at that moment? Is there something I can do for you? Okay, ready? Let's try it. One more. It must be different from what you just did. Okay, ready? 1, 3, 2, 1. I can do for you. Okay, very good. And cut. Excellent. Well, all right. Now, the same exact words. Is there something I can do for you? Except now you are a civic employee. You work in an information booth at City Hall. All you do all day long is say those words to everybody that comes in through the door. Is there something I can do for you? These people are idiots. They're morons. They're clucks. Sometimes they don't speak your same language, but it doesn't matter because your job, the way you earn your living, is to sit in that booth and all day long say, is there something I can do for you? You've said it 8 million times in the course of the last 3 years, right? Not only that, your spouse at home, you've been arguing with them like crazy. Your kids are all brats. You'd like to go off. You haven't been to see a movie in months because you can't afford it. You are not a happy person on this midweek exchange. Your hours that you're putting in. You are bored. You are tired, and you're angry. And you're gonna be look at the clock, realize that it's still 17 minutes to lunch, and you're gonna look up and say, "Ready? That's right. 3, 2, 1." All right. That's not bad. Can you be a little more angry, bored? 1, 2, 3. All right, let's change it a little bit. Someone has stood in front of you for a few minutes and hasn't asked a question. You're just going to look up to them and say, 3, 2, 1. All right, look at the difference between those two lines, the two different circumstances. One, you're incredibly happy and you feel sorry for somebody who's there. This one, you're incredibly bored and unhappy, and you have to say this to me. Is there something I can do for you? Has very, 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 very different connotations. All right, here's the last one. You ready for this? You're a shopkeeper in a relatively tough part of town, and you have to deal with thieves who steal cigarettes from you, theft from all of your shelves. You come in and you get hassled by the neighborhoods who don't like you. Essentially, you have to deal with people that are going to possibly rob you, because as they walk in, you don't like the color of their skin. You don't like the clothes that they're wearing. You don't know that you don't like that you've seen them around before. And you just know this person is going to be trouble. And you are not going to let anybody rip you off again, because you've worked too hard in order to build this little shop, in order to pay for your kids' clothes and the house that you live in. So the last thing you're going to do is be polite to this person, because you know that this person is probably going to steal from you. You sure you want to come in here right now? Well, let's try it again. 3, 2, 1. All right, that's not bad, but wouldn't it kind of be like, hey, is there something I could do for you? Right? All right, let's try it again. One more time. You hate this person that walked in. Ready? You're going to call the cops on this person. If it gives you any lip whatsoever, you're going to call a policeman. 3, 2, 1. That's what I'm looking for. All right. A third variation on a very simple line. Is there something I can do for you? What have you learned about yourself just in those three iterations? One, that you can be kind and you can fake it. Two, you can be bored and you can fake it. But three, you can be angry and suspicious and you can fake it. But it's 1,000 times better and will hit the audience in a way that is undeniable if you truly are kind to that old lady who fell down, or bored by that person who comes in. Because what you say and how you say it is part of the procedure and the behavior of how we all live our lives right now. And you, the audience, we've all sat down and watched a movie and said, I don't believe that. And the reason you don't believe that, because those people didn't really go there. So if you see a movie in which somebody says, can I help you because an old lady, or is there something I can do for you because someone fell? You, the actor that is in that place, has to be the conduit of that reality and that true procedure and behavior. Because at the end of the day, you can have as many humps and different makeup styles and hair and wigs and costumes. But if you're not actually adhering to the procedure and behavior of the moment, you're faking it. And therefore, you're not part of the great social purchase that goes between the audience and the storytellers, because that's what we all are. There are no small parts, there are only small actors.